Yep, this is how I made a controller out of a Baguette using an Arduino Leonardo, buttons from Amazon, jumper wires, and a breadboard. So the bread was designed to act as a controller, so it pretty much has the same setup as a normal Xbox controller. So this was actually my third bread, and the first thing I did was measure everything, but I knew I had to put some support in it because my first one had split in half. So I had used this metal rod that came from an old shoe rack. Another thing that had happened with my first one was that my parry button started to sink in the bread, so I added popsicle sticks to hold it up, and also added popsicle sticks around for the other buttons. The support became better as the bread became more stale. The next step was then to start cutting out the bread, start measuring the sizes of the button, and also I took a piece of foam board to hold the buttons in place. This would prevent the buttons from sinking and moving around inside of the bread. I of course then ate some of the bread as a snack. I glued the popsicle sticks in place to prevent them from moving and keeping the buttons in place. Glued the buttons in and glued the spot where the breadboard was going to go in also. I then had to cut the popsicle sticks in a way that wouldn't move them and keep them glued in. This is me writing the script for the Arduino board. I then decided to add a lot more popsicle sticks to hold every other button inside to prevent it from moving. And at one point I also added cotton balls inside the bread because it was hollowed out to prevent the buttons from moving around. I'm actually surprised at how well the popsicle sticks were at holding up with using the parry buttons, the gradient parry, and the dodge button. Like having to press those in like a timely manner only was possible because of the popsicle sticks, which is kind of crazy. When I was testing out the first bread, one of the things that also kept happening were the wires kept getting unplugged from the buttons, and I decided to glue them to the circuit board. That way they wouldn't move around, and if my fingers accidentally like kind of pulled on it, they would still stay in place. I had also scratched myself on one of the popsicle sticks, so I decided to sand it all down. The final step was then to wire all the buttons and make sure I didn't make a mistake and that everything was wired correctly. The breadboard helped a lot with this to minimize the amount of wires going to the ground and the amount of wires like having to travel over the bread and just going in the way. This is when I actually finished the bread, and I'll be showing you in a picture where all the buttons laid out and what they represented. So this analog right here was my left analog stick, which was for moving. These four buttons right here were my A, B, Y, and X. This button right here was my most important button, my parry button. I put it in a place where it was comfortable for me and easy to press. This right here was my right trigger, which served as the gradient attack and to shoot. Right in the middle is my breadboard, which was the start button, the camp and open map buttons. On the opposite side, we had the analog stick for my camera, and then we had the left bumper and the right and the left trigger. And that's about it. Hope you guys liked the video. If you liked it, like and subscribe to see more and see what other controllers I'm up to. Peace!